Now, as you experience a little bit of life, and you're around about mid-20s here, what did you? I mean, what else did you want to pursue? You say you was Renaissance. You did boxing. You did wrestling. You worked a couple jobs. You always felt as yourself being artistic. And I feel that sometimes, in life, that's what you do. You jump around from here to here. They had this saying in the streets, you get in where you fit in. So I think it's good for people to experience certain things to find out their niche in life, something that they really, really, really like doing. So after you done experienced a few things, where did you go from there?
Well, I've done some freelance photography and stuff. I've done some photography work. I did some freelance photography for the Chicago Defender.
Okay.
That was one of my first really far as the arts go. I used to like to draw a lot.
Okay.
And then see, this is something that I didn't know, but until much later. But my dad was also a really good photographer.
Okay.
And I picked up the camera, and I fell in love with the camera, and I fell in love with taking pictures. And it was so funny because years later, after my dad had found out that I was into photography, he sent me all this equipment, all this whole photography equipment. I was like, and I'm looking at this equipment, I'm saying to myself, wow, he was really into photography. He had a whole lot of, it was a whole bag full of cameras, different kind of cameras and stuff. So and then I asked my mom about it, and she was like, yeah, your dad loved taking pictures. That's all he liked to do is take pictures. Yeah.
And I want to touch on that just a little bit, because would you say that you were a blessed child, teenager growing up in your household?
Yeah, I would say I was pretty blessed, because my siblings also too as well. We all alike. We write. Well, my sister, my little sister, she's a phenomenal writer, and actually my middle sister, she's co-written 2 books that's in Borders right now. So 2 gospel books, and so yeah, it was kind of fun being around.
So you pretty much had everything you wanted growing up as a child?
No, I didn't have everything I wanted. But I tell you what, at the age of 12, they used to have a CETA program out in the suburbs where young kids that single parents and stuff like that, they can get hired to do different jobs.
Now this was out in the suburbs?
This is out in the suburbs.
Okay.
Yeah, this is out in the suburbs. Now I'm not sure if they had it in the city, but I know that we had it. And so so I was a 12-year-old kid making about $2.90 every 2 weeks or something like that. And I would share with mom. I give mom a little something.
So do you think that they got more resources in the suburbs than they do in the city to offer the youth?
Well, here's the thing. I really couldn't answer that honestly, just because I can only speak on what I experienced in the suburb, because by me not being raised in the city. But now since I've been in the city, some of the things I've seen with the youth is not it's not that positive. You know what I'm saying? So I couldn't really elaborate on like how things was when I was a kid in the city. I can only speak on like what was going on in the suburb. And
that's fine.
It was cool.
That's
yeah.
Fine. So let's keep it in that era for a minute or two. Now, a lot of the youth, children and the teenagers, they experience, and I remember you saying a couple moments back that your friends took up for you. Now, when I was growing up, the peer pressure of the gangs, the violence, the crime, the selling of the drugs.
Right.
Did you, and were you tempted into getting into that? Did you peer pressure? Was you involved in any gangs activity?
I had some friends that were, in gangs and stuff, but again, they wouldn't let me be involved. You know what I'm saying? They kind of just, because again, my mom was, she was the neighborhood mom, so I was pretty well protected.
So you pretty much had your family instilled good morals and values in you. But even then, sometimes
youth, I was tempted. I was tempted.
Outside,
yeah.
So it's safe to say that they showed you love.
Yeah, they showed me love.
They showed you.
They showed me love, and sometimes I wanted to roll, and they just wouldn't let me roll. And that's how it was. Okay. I mean, I wanted to roll sometimes, but because I was like, man, we got to do this, I got to do that, because they would come to me for advice because I was kind of like the brain,
Right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And so, but I'd be like, no, and so I would get real amped, and I'd be ready to do something, and they'd be like, all right, you already told us what we should do. Now you go sit down.
Okay.
Yeah, it was more like one of those things,
Okay. So jumping back forward to the future a little bit, after the wrestling,
okay,
what did you do? You started back working again? Was you pursuing to open up your own business?
Yeah.
Or?
Well, what happened was after wrestling, me and a buddy of mine, we opened up a computer store.
Okay.
On 103rd Street, right in between Cottage Grove and King Drive.
Okay.
And
what area is that?
That's
for the viewers out there.
Roseland. Area.
Okay, Roseland area.
Roseland
okay.
area.
Now that's a pretty rough area out there as well.
It's not, you know what? It's not as rough as people think it is.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not as rough. And then my buddy, he was raised out there. My partner was raised out there, so that's where he wanted to open it up at. Because I was kind of questioning it too, but then I thought about it. So you know what? That would help the community. Mm-hmm. And not only that, but it would draw in youth that was interested in computers and learning about computers and stuff. So and it worked because we had a regular group of kids that would come in.
Now these were
neighborhood kids.
Neighborhood kids.
Yeah.
Were they in school or just somebody came by?
They were in school. They were in school, but after school they would come by and we normally would charge like $2 an hour,
okay.
$2.50 an hour for surf the net for an hour or so. Mm-hmm. But these kids, we cared about them so much,
yes.
And they would come in, and we knew the one because my partner told me, said, you know what, the brightest kids in this neighborhood is going to come to this place,
okay,
and they're going to be here all the time,
okay,
and so and that was true because the brightest kids did. The kids that were.
You sure they wasn't in there on MySpace and Facebook and all
no,
that
they would. Don't get me wrong, the kids they gonna do that. Right. You know what I'm saying? But in the same sense, but they still were into other things too. A lot of them were into like space and different things like that. They'd be surfing all kinds of stuff. So we let them. We let them surf for free. I mean, they can come in and hang out and. Eventually, we set up a back room for them and had PlayStation back there for them. So,
okay, so when did you open up your business out
2000.
There? In 2000. Mm-hmm. Okay. And
yeah,
now the youth was coming out mm-hmm. and they was being interested in the computers.
Right.
Did you all set up any type of class for them or anything?
We actually did have classes, but not for the kids because here's the thing. We set up classes for the adults because there's a lot of adults that don't know how to surf or use a computer, so we set it up pretty much for them because the kids knew how to pretty much do what they needed to do. So that's what we did, and our classes, were relatively cheap, so so we had nice groups.
Nice fluent business, people from outside, they supported you.
Right.
Now let me ask you, because in my experience and what I've been seeing in predominantly black neighborhoods, they don't support the black business. And just let me get your opinion on that. Why you think it is that the black neighborhood don't support the black businesses?
A lot of it has to do with the media.
The media, okay.
Yeah, the way the media projects a neighborhood, and with the media, just face it, a lot of ethnic neighborhoods, the media comes in and they all only want to show you the negative, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of times, a black person may be going through a black neighborhood and see a black business like our store, and it may not even stop in because it's like, oh, this in the hood, whatever. Mm-hmm. And they keep on rolling.
But everybody got to eat. You know, everybody got to pay bills.
Yeah.
You know, why you can't go and support, especially right there in the neighborhood. They will go outside the neighborhood 5, 10, 30 miles away to support some other
community, which is crazy. When you live in this community, you should support your community.
Right.
We did get a lot of support from the community, though. I will say that. And you know what? The demographics of everything started changing and stuff. So eventually, people that was outside of the neighborhood, because we actually, by the time, right before we ended up having to close shop, we started getting a lot of outside business from south suburb, west suburb. You know, people started hearing about us, you know, and it started coming to us. So, yeah, so, you know, it's like I said, it started changing. So it got better. It got better, I would say.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
So, you're a Renaissance man. You've been active. You've been and brought up with instilled in you morals and values, and now a business owner. You did a little boxing, a little semi-pro wrestling. I mean, what the future holds for you now? What do you want to do? What do you want to accomplish out of life now?
Well,
outside of the business.
Here's the thing. I just started acting last year.
Okay.
I worked on Batman for 2 months.
Okay.
I worked on Eagle Eye. Unborn is out in the theater now. I'm in that. So basically pursuing my acting career. Okay. But I've been writing too. I'm writing scripts right now. So I just want to do all in the business now. I just want to do it all. You know, everything I can do in the business. I want to do it. You know, because I've done a lot of things. I did in 90. Was it 98? I want to say 98, 99. I did I did the casting for 2 R. Kelly videos.
Okay.
And I did a casting for a David Hollister video. I actually worked the set as a PA. So I've been around the business.
Okay. I guess I should have rephrased the question as to the steps that you took to become successful. What are, just to give the viewers and the youth out there, you know, the steps, because we all gonna have to experience life, and we're gonna have to make good choices, or we're gonna make some bad choices.
Exactly.
So, what steps did you take in becoming successful?
Well, to be honest with you, I just was a little bit all over the place, and that's how you do it, because I never limit myself to one thing.
Okay.
I never limited myself to one thing. I just said, oh, I could do that, or I could do that, and I could do that. And then next thing you know, I built up a resume, not only with myself, but with people, you know. And then people confided in me and said, you know, this guy can do this stuff here. He's just showing me he could do this, you know.
Right.
So, and that's it, you know. And I would say to the youth, hey, you know, keep on pursuing your dreams, you know, because, hey, you know, we should know that by the president we have in the house right now. Yes, sir. You know what I'm saying? Martin Luther King had a dream, and you know what? If he's alive today, he'd be real. He had a big smile on his face like we do now. Yes. So you know, just pursue your dream, because anything's possible, and that's for not just for the black youth, but for all youth,
cultures, right?
All cultures. You know what I'm saying? This is America. This is an open door. Do what you got to do to be successful, and that's it.